Hi there. Many traders and entrepreneurs, when they stuck with their cash and they need cash very badly, the only things they can do, they turn their face to the banks or their banks or commercial banks, if you want, and they ask for money. They ask for either short-term loan or for an overdraft line, especially if they have an existing one like over, or we call it OD facility or line, and they need to activate that, and they want to increase it, and they promise to to reactivate the account and return it back. That's fine. But what about if they don't have that cash and they fail to pay the short-term loan or the overdraft? What will happen? Here is the problem with the bank. Here you are tearing the relationship or the good relationship with your banks. And don't forget that the interest will eat interest and will eat interest and will eat interest, and you will create a mountain of interest, which in most cases it will be more than the principal, and you have to pay both the principal and the interest. And if you cannot pay it, you will end up with bankruptcy, solvency, closing down your business, but at the court. But I will give you a good advice, and it will help you today, okay? And of course, if you take it from me carefully, apply it carefully, and bear in your mind, I'm not affecting the business of the bank. I'm not doing, let's say, for example, make you stronger than that banker and take the business of the bank of them, or say from them, but help you to manage your business. And by managing your business, you have to manage your cash strategically. And by managing the cash here, I mean you have to manage the cash drivers, let's say the things which in fact cause the cash, which bring the cash for you. And let's look at these now one by one. The first one, you have to manage your account receivable. So why you give them long period? And if you did, please control it carefully. You have to put a good credit control. You have to bring your cash quickly as possible, because you need the cash. So why you take it from the banks and pay interest for it at the time which you need the cash and you cannot pay it back to the bank? So manage your account receivable. Number two, you have to manage your inventory. So why you purchase this bulk of stock of these goods and you keep it in the store and then they become obsolete? So buy them when you need them. So you should not buy and keep them in the store, and at the time of this, no customer will come to you, or maybe you cannot use them in your producing or manufacturing of these, of this inventory. So you have, as I said, you create the cost of obsolescence, the cost of old fashions, and nobody will buy them. At some time, even you cannot sell them back at cheaper price, but maybe you throw them out. Number three, you have to manage also your plant asset or fixed asset. So why you purchase very expensive, for example, fixed asset at the time you don't need it? Why you purchase a big office? Why you purchase let's say very expensive furniture, a very, very, very expensive car for you as a manager of your business? You have to control and you have to manage these. Yes, plant assets are good, but for the use of the business. Yes, they have long life. They bring benefit for the organization, but if it is related to the business, okay? So the offices and the building itself, or the furnitures and your motor car or expensive Jaguar or whatever, it will not improve that business. You have to manage that. Number three, you have to manage the costs and the expenses. So when you pay too much for the advertisement, you pay, for example, what extraordinary expenses for nothing. You playing with the cash during the year, okay? And let's say, for example, sometime you pay high salary for the people who don't deserve it. Sometimes you, as I said, even for the petty cash, I noticed that some companies spend thousand in their petty cash, okay? And also, you have to manage also the expense which paid in advance, and also the outstanding expense. So why, for example, you pay in advance? There's, if for example you pay in advance for let's say for the purpose of gaining the discount, and that discount, it is, yes, it's big and worth it, it's okay, but sometimes you pay it in advance. You want to please your, for example, your other business, which